Welcome to Stories from the Center of the Universe, the podcast about the human experience.
Suzanne Wolstenholme, Kimberly Mills, welcome to Stories from the Center of the Universe. Really appreciate both of you joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So Suzanne, I have heard your name since I was a child, and your business has been iconic in the Richmond metro area, and especially here in Ashland. Tell us how Suzanne started.
Well, I always loved to cook and entertain, and I had lots of parties at our house until my husband said no more parties, and I needed another outlet, and I needed a job. I had been a secretary, which was my lifelong dream when I was a teenager, and that really wasn't for me. So I went back to school, and I finished my business degree, and then I needed a job. And so there wasn't any place at that time for people to pick up really good food if they were going home from work. Women were just going back into the workplace, and they were tired at the end of the day and didn't want to have to go home and cook. So my idea was to make things that people would make in their own kitchen if they had the time. And so we're sort of in the right place at the right time with all the women going back into the workforce.
You were cooking for people at work too, right? Do I have that right? Were you ever bringing in stuff you cooked at home into the workplace?
No.
I don't know where I heard that.
No.
Somebody's made that up. You're a legend, and people have made up things that are not true, apparently. And I said Suzanne's. I meant Homemades by Suzanne.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What was on the menu back then when you first started?
The very same thing that we're serving now.
Really? And
Well, we've embellished. I mean, we've grown, but it was pretty much the core is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken salad, shrimp salad, homemade rolls, homemade soups, homemade pies, and our bread that we make every morning. I mean, there are core items, but we add other things in just for interest. Like next week, for instance, we're doing a Hanover tomato celebration. Kim can tell you, she's in charge of all the specials, so she can tell you what we're going to do.
Well, we'll have Hanover tomato pies, stuffed Hanover tomatoes, BLTs, chili gazpacho with Hanover tomatoes, caprese salads,
BLT.
BLTs.
Anything you can think of with a Hanover tomato.
All right, I'm going to give that some thought.
Give it some thought.
Okay.
Because they will peak. They're at their peak time now, and so nothing any better.
Are Hanover County tomatoes really better?
Yes, they are.
What makes them better?
I guess they're grown in the center of the universe. And
Picked with loving hands.
Hanover, yeah. It's the soil, really. I think it's the sandy soil. And to be truthful, they mostly come from Mechanicsville. That's where the soil is sandy.
Ooh.
And they grow such good tomatoes.
I'm not sure. As an Ashlander, I don't know that I want that to get out.
Well, we have farmers who bring them to our doors. They bring them to our door.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
we can edit that out.
That's really cool. No, we're not going to edit that out. All right, so you've been in Ashland for how long with your business?
37 years.
And what brought you here in the first place?
Well, my husband and I moved to Hanover when we were married, between Ashland and Doswell. And when I wanted to go into business, my father helped me find a building, and we found the building on the railroad tracks right in the old part of Ashland. It was a drugstore for over 100 years. And so he bought the building for me. And I said, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never been in a commercial kitchen. We could be out of business in 6 months. And he said, well, we can sell the building. So that's how we got started there in that particular location.
37
been a good
years.
location.
37 years later,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
How
sell that
much
much
has changed in 37 years?
In Ashland?
In Ashland and for your business?
Well, when I started out, I thought myself and one or two other people could handle everything. Now we have like 25 employees between our two locations. And our sales just kept going up. From the first day, we had a couple of people, and then it just grew and grew. We'd go out and get another table and chairs and put in because we needed more tables and chairs, and the catering has picked up constantly, and it's just been a real joy to be there.
How many locations do you have now?
We have the John Marshall ballrooms. They're beautifully restored, the historic ballrooms, and we serve lunch there Monday through Friday.
Wow. And Kim, when did you come into the picture?
I came in 1988.
Okay. And you
Been
were
there ever
you were
since.
a high schooler,
That was a high school, yep.
and you stayed with Suzanne all this time.
I love it. It's a family environment. We have employees that have been there for 30 years, which is very rare in restaurant. We have very low turnover, and I think it's because we treat everyone like family. The employees are treated like family.
Yeah, and
And the
they
owners
stay.
and the owners are right there working with them side by side every day.
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
And how many partners do y'all have?
3 partners total.
3 of y'all total.
Mm-hmm.
Is the third one a silent partner?
No, she's very busy downtown.
Oh, gotcha. She's the John Marshall.
She's at the John Marshall.
I gotcha.
She
Okay.
does a great job running that location.
Cool. So have you always just grown? Because at some point you had to make a decision not to grow to become this international brand name, right? So why have you stayed the size you are today?
Well, when I was much younger, I'd get up in the morning and sign a new lease. And then I got to the point where I didn't really know which way to go. When I'd wake up in the morning, I'd think, I was just befuddled because it was just too much. We went to Botanical Gardens. We had a store at Liberty and Grove. We had another store on 6th Street, and it was just, and I didn't have this, the management structure at that time to handle it like we do now with Kim and Sheila as partners. But it wasn't fun anymore when you was just so confused and stressed.
Yeah, and a lot of
And the
things
catering we would do and do.
Yeah, and a lot of things are new, right? And you're not sure exactly what to do because you didn't have the experience.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What made it fun again?
Just having the 2 locations and doing the catering.
Kinda-
And it's not always fun, but when you're loading and unloading vans, Kim would know this, when you're unloading vans at the wee hours of the morning, that's not so much
You
fun.
save some money on gym memberships.
I
Yeah.
bet.
Nice.
Yeah.
I bet. Wow. And the samples are coming when?
No.
What brought the fun aspect back to it is when we slowed down a little and were just able to focus on the 2 locations, we were able to be more creative with our custom catering, where we had actually more time to sit down with the brides and listen to what they wanted, and we could be just more creative and think out of the box and do stuff that other caterers were not doing. So it brought, I know for me, it brought a lot more of the excitement back because, it's like it's my special day too because I'm helping them create it.
Right. Is it only weddings that you cater or cater any event?
Anything.
Okay. And
Kim does all the off-site catering.
is that hard?
No, I love it.
Do you work long hours doing
Oh, yeah.
catering?
I work long hours. Yeah,
But you love it.
I love it.
What do you love specifically about it?
Working one-on-one with my brides or
Okay.
whoever's having the party, or if there's a spouse that just lost their spouse, I can sit down with them and create a menu that is a reflection of the person they just lost and just brings the whole personal touch to it. And that's just important to me.
All right. If I wanted to cater an event, say my wife's birthday, how much lead time do I need to give you?
Do you want 25 people, 100 people, 150 people?
We'll call it 100 people.
If I have the date open, we can do it in a week to
Oh,
10
wow, if the
days.
date's
If
open.
the date's open and you have a facility.
How far out is your longest event
We're
scheduled?
booking to 2023 now.
What?
That's awesome.
Well, in the wedding business, people plan a year to 18
Yeah, that's
months
true.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, my wife didn't do that. When I asked her to marry me, 8 months later, we got married.
Yeah.
She couldn't wait to be married to me. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Is this over? Unbelievable.
So the community of Ashland is near and dear to my heart. I assume it's near and dear to you guys. And so when you did decide to come down to a hotel plus your focal point or your original location, was it about the original location that was really important to you, or was it the town of Ashland, or a combination of the two, or something entirely different that brought you to stay here 37 years?
Well, Ashland is a very unique town. It's historic, it's Victorian, it's charming, it's small town. The train runs right to the middle of the street. I mean, where else would you go? And then we have, Mr. Kinney, who drives his bicycle up and down the street, and he's quite a bicyclist. So
He's out there often.
free
He is.
entertainment.
He
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
He is. Yeah. So and people watch him from the cams. The live cams all
railroad
over the
cams.
world.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that either.
They watch the railroad crossings, but they watch him too.
Does he know he's entertaining?
I'm
the
sure he
masses?
does.
Absolutely.
What has the college meant for your business?
Well, the college kind of keeps the town alive when the students are there. We don't get a lot of the men's students, but we get a lot of the women's students. We get a lot of the parents when they come. And just kind of know what's going on in the world when you look at these 20-year-olds, see what they're wearing, what they're doing, and it's important.
A lot has changed over the last 37 years.
It has, yeah, as it would in any decades change, yeah.
Absolutely. What's your biggest challenge you've had to overcome? Like, what was it like during the pandemic? I imagine that was a trying time.
You know, it was trying, but it was, I won't say it was fun, but it was an achievement, I think. Kim and Sheila and I, we put our heads together and said, now what can we do? What do people need from us at this time? And Kim came up with a lot of entrees to take home, sides, that sort of thing, and we put that out on Facebook, and we take orders for it, and between 4 and 6 people would drive up to our back door and call us, and we take their order out to them with gloves on and masks on, and they don't want to go. At first, nobody wanted to go to the grocery store, so it was. I mean, we had a line going out to the street of cars waiting to pick up their orders.
Did business pick up during the pandemic?
Actually, it did.
Isn't that crazy? No one would ever wish for a pandemic. But
No, absolutely not.
We paid a lot of attention what our customers were asking of us, and then adjusted our business plan every day to kind of meet their needs that would still work for us. We did a lot of community deliveries, especially the retirement communities, where we would either go set up at the clubhouse and people could pre-order and do like a drive-through pickup, or we'd actually take it to their house and drop it off. And we had some families that would call and order 3 or 4 meals a week for their in-laws, or, we would take it to them, so they just didn't have to worry about it.
Did this add an aspect to the business now, or are you going to go back to normal? I mean, are you now doing this?
We are doing it.
Yeah.
We've got one scheduled for tomorrow, actually in Fredericksburg, because none of the restaurants up there were doing it.
Okay.
So we kind of reached out.
You have reached to Fredericksburg? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
We've got 3 communities in Fredericksburg that we deliver to.
So you're doing work in Richmond, Ashland, certainly, and Fredericksburg. Any other places?
We do. We have a lot in Glen Allen. We have Sheila does a lot south of the river.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's doing the same thing downtown from her kitchen downtown.
Oh, I got
She's
you.
had a beautiful state-of-the-art kitchen
That's
at the
really
John
cool.
Marshall.
What's your favorite item on the menu, Suzanne?
I think even after 37 years, the chicken salad sandwich
It's
is my
mine,
favorite.
too.
Yeah.
It is the best chicken salad on earth.
And you put it on a homemade roll, then you really got
Oh,
something.
my gosh.
Man, y'all make me hungry.
Mine's the crab cake.
My wife's favorite
Yeah.
food is crab
Yeah.
cake.
Mine's the crab
Nothing wrong
cake.
with that.
Y'all are open right now?
Nope. We're here.
Y'all shut down for this?
No, we close at 2.
Oh, you close at 2. What are your hours, since we're talking about hours?
Be safe, Kim.
All right, so Tuesday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 2.
Okay.
But if you still want to do the curbside, we offer it. You just have to place your order by 3. And then you can allow pickup until 6. And then Saturdays, we're open from 9 to 3.
Could I order something directly through y'all today?
Sure, today,
Take
sure.
a crab cake home to my wife?
I'll run down and get it for you.
That'd be really cool. So what are your plans over the next year or two?
We're going to be very busy with weddings.
Okay, because weddings, people are attending weddings, and you'll
People are
have
attending
100 or
weddings.
200 folks at a
back.
wedding.
Have as many as you want now.
Yeah.
See a lot
many
of
as you
people
want.
with smiling faces and just ecstatic to be back together with each other.
Yes.
Here lately, we've been pretty busy with bereavement ceremonies or
Yeah.
receptions because they weren't allowed to have the services during COVID. So
Oh,
we're doing
yeah.
a lot of those, which is, it's nice to see everybody get together and celebrate a loved one. We're doing lots of baby showers, and I imagine there'll be a lot more of those to come.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think there were people
Yeah.
predicting when all this started there would be a lot more babies.
Oh,
around.
yeah.
So we've been blessed to be busy.
Okay, so that's on the catering side. Any plans for the actual location here in Ashland or the location at John Marshall?
Well, next week we're having bologna burgers. We've never had a bologna burger, but we're going to have that next week for a
What is,
special.
hold on, what is on a bologna burger?
Hanover tomato.
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to be on the Hanover tomato celebration.
Oh, bologna
You've never had a
burger.
bologna burger?
Oh,
Well,
they're
so my dad, when my mom would go out of town, he would have to cook for my sister and me. He would just fry bologna. That's all
That's it.
he knew how to do. And I'm sure he threw it on a roll or something, or a hamburger bun or something.
Right. Usually it's sautéed onions and maybe some green peppers and the fried bologna and cheese if you want it.
Or mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, yes. We mix a little mustard in with the mayonnaise.
Mustard, yeah.
And then, but next week it'll have a big slab of Hanover tomato on it.
It's going to be good.
It is
It's
going
going
to
to be
good.
messy, but it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I didn't eat tomatoes as a child. I was an outcast because of that.
Oh.
Yeah. My dad did. He thought about disowning me because I didn't eat tomatoes as a young child. So, where did you grow up, Suzanne?
In Richmond, West End of Richmond.
West End.
The West End? Whereabouts? Where, you already told us Thomas Jefferson, but
Yeah, I was at Libby Avenue and near West Hampton Elementary and Junior High
I
School.
know exactly what the old Pizza Hut still sitting right there on
Yeah.
the corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, it's near St. Christopher's, right? You grew
Not
up
too
near
far.
there? Yeah.
Not too
okay.
far. Libby and Patterson area.
Okay, got it. And where did you grow up, Kim?
In Ashland, right next door to Camptown Racetrack.
So just north part of town. And the racetrack's not there anymore, is it?
Both of them are still there. They're up for sale to become a business development, but I'm not sure if anything's gone through.
Camptown Races was a big thing back in the day, and then
Fun.
and then it went away, and then it came back,
Mm-hmm.
and it went away again. I don't know why it went away the second time.
Well, at one time it went away because someone got hurt and there was a big lawsuit, and so that, discouraged the property owner, I think, from ever doing it again.
Okay. You guys want to tell us about your families? Your immediate families?
Sure. I'm not too ashamed of them. You can go first, Kim.
Now you can go. I'll take a while. I have a few more kids.
I have a husband. I've had a husband for 53 years.
Awesome.
We were high school sweethearts. And we have one daughter who's in her 40s. We have a foster son who's 30. But I don't know why I say foster, because he's really our son. And I have one grandson who lives just down the lane from me. And I have a poor old dog who's 17 years old, has Cushing's disease and is deaf. But he still doesn't seem to be in pain, so we're still taking good care of him.
What kind of dog?
Well, actually, I thought he was a mutt at first, but then I found out he had real roots. He's called a Carolina dog. He's hieroglyphics were found of this dog in the caves in the Carolinas, and he looks like any kind of a continent, the original dog from continents, like the dingo with the pointy ears and the curly tail, and he's got a crook in the end of his tail. And when I looked him up on the internet, that's the sign of a Carolina dog. So he's very clever, because he had to be to grow up in the swamps. Not terribly intelligent, but very clever.
Bigger dog or smaller dog?
He's medium-sized dog.
I mean, he's lived a long life.
He has. He's
Yeah.
tough. Oh my gosh, he's tough.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. All right, how about you, Kim?
Well, I'm married to a Richmond City police officer. I have a son and daughter from a previous marriage. My daughter's 24. My son's going to turn 21. I have 3 wonderful stepchildren, all of which have served in the Army.
Oh, wow.
One in basic now, one in Germany, and one in Nashville, who actually just got out and is a Nashville City police officer. And I have 1 grandchild on the way, 5 dogs, a cat, and too many horses.
How about the pig?
And a pig.
That's a lot. There's a lot going on there.
It's a lot going on. That's why I'm always at work.
Well, thank your husband for his service
Well,
for
thank
us,
you. Thank you.
and
Definitely.
your stepkids for
Thank
their
you.
service as well.
Thank you.
That's very cool. What's
And
the
your
one?
mom knows all of them.
Does she?
And your dad, yes.
Well, I guess we can talk about the connection my mom taught you in kindergarten.
And taught my husband now, Ralph, yes.
Okay.
We're all local Ashland, all went to Henry Clay, Gandy, Liberty, Patrick Henry, yep.
Are you related to Vaughn in any way?
No,
Okay. Or your husband? Okay.
And what's your husband's name?
Ralph Mills.
Ralph Mills. Okay.
I know the name.
Ralph, well, his dad was a contractor, and his grandfather had the Ashland Well Company.
Okay. All right.
So Roland Rodney Mills.
Oh, yeah. I know those guys, for sure. All right, Suzanne, what do you want our listeners to know about Homemades by Suzanne? What's the one thing? And the question can be for both of
The
you.
one thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one thing is that, we do our very best to make really good, wholesome foods. We buy the best ingredients we can, because when it comes in, they say when it comes in the back door, what the ingredients are is what's going out the front door, and that's what we want to be, the very best ingredients and the highest quality. And people, I think they can tell that when they come in and they have their lunch. You know, you can tell it's really made with love almost. We have people who come from off of 95 twice a year on their way coming and going, and people who now find us on the internet, which was not, that's new to, to have all those Yelps and Google reviews that people see and come in that way. That's a different
And your
marketing
kitchen,
for us.
your kitchen is very busy during the
Very busy.
yeah. How many people are in your kitchen at lunchtime?
About 12
That's a lot of people.
in that small area.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting ready for catering in the afternoon, too.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
We kind of divided up in teams, multitasking, and some people wait on customers, some people prepping, some people doing catering.
Gotcha. All right. What's the one thing you want folks to know?
Well, first, I'd like to say how appreciative we are for supporting us through the pandemic. They kind of stuck with us, and we're in it for the long haul. We're going to keep listening and give them what they want and just be there to serve them.
Right on.
So,
Is it somebody fun that we can record? Calling you? Suzanne?
Probably my husband. He's Fredericksburg, probably lost. Sorry about that.
So, what's a typical day like at Homemades by Suzanne?
there is no typical day. It's different.
All right,
every day.
what happened yesterday?
Yesterday we were closed.
Dang it! What happened the last day you were open?
Today? What happened today? Nothing crazy happened today. We were really busy. We had a lot of inquiries for weddings.
Kim, what time did you wake up to get ready for work?
I get up at 4:30 every morning
Do you do that because the job requires it, or you do it because you're doing
because I
other
have
things?
too many horses.
You have a lot of horses. I got you.
I usually try to get there between 7 and 7:30 in our day. I'm usually gone by 4:30.
Okay.
It's not too terribly long unless we have events.
Got it. All right. So on a non-event day, what's the day like for you?
Our staff usually gets there about 8 and is there till like 3:30 or 4.
Okay. And you're in the kitchen. You're doing other things.
I do pretty much everything.
Tell us more about everything.
Everything, from scrubbing the bathrooms to ordering the food to prepping to training the new chef to looking up recipes or talking with sales vendors, getting ideas, talking with customers,
Wow.
making sales calls, reaching out to community to see if we can do like a community
And you
development.
love it.
I do love it. I love people. Ask your mom.
And you love being busy and challenged in lots of
And I
different ways.
really like it because I know most of our customers, and over the years have developed such a strong relationship through them.
What's your proudest moment catering?
Gosh, proudest moment catering.
That question can be for either one of you.
Gosh, there's been so
I
many,
know.
so many brides.
I
and-
tell you what, probably my favorite and most memorable was Jim Smith and Sandra Smith, who got married 3 days after, and I cut my honeymoon short to come to do their event because I
Oh,
was in
my
love
gosh.
with them so much.
Oh, wow.
They are in their 80s,
Wow.
and they're local Ashlanders.
What was it about the two of them that
We just connected, and their story was just so sweet, and I needed to be there.
I don't think I would have left my honeymoon 3 days
I
early
had
for anybody.
I had no problems doing it for them.
You're probably a better person than I am. Yeah.
No, there's no probably about that.
They're just a great couple.
Yeah, and how old were they when they got married?
It was 3 years ago.
Oh,
I
okay.
think their anniversary's tomorrow.
Oh, that's really
Wow,
cool.
that's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
super cool.
Their anniversary's tomorrow, I believe. So.
And how did they meet? Do you know?
I think they were high school sweethearts, and they got separated, and he went to VMI, and I don't remember where Sandra went, but then within 6 months, they lost their spouses and just reconnected through church,
Holy cow! What an awesome story.
Mm-hmm.
They're so happy.
and they're very happy.
So you can keep names out of this if you like, but any Bridezilla stories?
Do you have any bridezillas? I don't think I have any bridezillas.
Because brides
Other
usually aren't
Other
upset
than
at
our
the
employees,
caterer.
other than our employees that we've helped get married.
It's usually sometimes it's the mother and not
Yeah.
the bride.
The mother of the bride. There you go.
And I think they get so caught up in the moment and the stress, they don't mean to be the momzilla.
Momzillas can be worse, I think, than bridezillas.
Yeah, they just overthink it, and they want their day to be, the daughter's day to be so perfect.
That they've turned it into their day, and they forget. They
They're
kind of
living
lose themselves.
vicariously through, yeah. But I don't ever really remember any of them that were too.
You're a silver lining kind of person, Kim. It seems to me.
Yeah.
Well, if you listen to what they want and you give them what they want, there's no reason for them to be a bridezilla.
Right.
A lot of people just want you to do what they want to do, what they think it should be, instead of what the vision that the bride and the groom and the mother have.
Great point.
How many grooms participate in that process?
More now.
Yeah,
than-
here a lot.
I'll tell you, I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
I did.
you
Yes,
tried,
I did.
Okay, I believe you.
I did. No, and I agree. More grooms are now, because back in the day it used to be,
Things
you
are
take
different.
care of that. I'm gonna.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No.
We're- okay, you're a better person than me, Kevin.
Once again, that's 3
That's
out of
two
4.
us.
For 3 of you, I'm sure. Suzanne, what's your fondest memory over the last 37 years?
Oh my! I have had so
You
many.
can give us 3 or 4 if you want.
Gosh, it's been just a joy, really. I mean, every day you never know who's going to be coming in, who's going to call on the phone, what they're going to want. It's just different and varied and creative, and I think all of that put together just make wonderful days.
Rings every bell for you as a person.
It really does. It really does. I think I was meant to serve food to people, to present food to people, and I do get a lot of pleasure from that.
Sweet.
If I ate chicken salad every day, is that a problem?
Not at all. But some people come in the back door and we start making their chicken salad sandwich.
All you have to do is see their face.
That's right.
Every day.
Every day.
We have one gentleman that orders every Friday, and he picks it up at 10 o'clock, and we have his order ready for him before he calls it in. He gets the same thing every day.
He is a creature of habit.
Do people
Knows
put
what he
bacon
likes.
on the chicken salad
Sometimes.
ever? Yeah, because I do that.
Yeah, that's good.
And some people put cheddar cheese on it.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad either.
Bacon is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about your customers that are most memorable or bring the most joy when they come in.
Kitty Hamilton was one.
She's gone.
She's left us, but she was a joy. Always came in since she was with the health department. She had taste everything.
That's what she'd say.
And then we would have a new employee. It's like, oh, the health department's here. She wants to taste the deviled egg.
Yeah.
That's great.
Who else?
Frank Hargrove used to come in and want a sample. He
just wanted to sample
he wanted
everything?
to sample. He wanted to sample that. Suzanne, he was just kidding. But Suzanne, give me a sample of this, that, and the other. Just joking.
Doesn't hurt to try.
That's right.
And he was a longtime delegate, right,
Yes.
in the state. Yeah.
He still eats our food, but his daughter picks it up for him.
Yeah. Any other memorable folks?
I'm trying to think. We've had a lot.
How about folks that work for you?
We've always had good employees.
Well, they stick around too,
They
right?
stick around.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, we've had we've done a lot of work with special needs, functioning autistic adults. Throughout the years, we've won several awards. That's kind of been a passion of mine.
The national award
Where we won the national award, the
for
National
supported
AFSI award.
employment.
How did you win that? What does that entail? What are they looking at when they are thinking about giving that award out?
Basically, that's a good question. That's so long ago. We started working with the county, and we had one or two of the highly functional autistic. That's basically what they were, and they assist. Supported employment comes in and assists training with them, and then works alongside them until they feel comfortable. And then they come in maybe once a week, then goes twice a week, then goes once a month, and we would do monthly evaluations. And they were like, "These two are doing such a good job. Can we send 2 more? We like 2 more." And then we started taking them on like outings. Like Warren would take them to play putt-putt. I would take them to play with the horses. We took them swimming. We took them to the movies. We would take them to Sweet Frog. And just fishing. Yeah, charter boat fishing.
Oh wow, you guys were completely committed.
Yeah, we embraced them, and basically, they just fit in. They were family, and they didn't. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they don't want to be treated special. They want to be treated like everyone else, and that happened at Home Aids. They didn't get a lot of special treatment. They were treated like every other employee.
And they want companionship like anybody else does.
And they thrived on coming to work because it was stability. They knew there were people there that cared about them, and they knew on a daily basis, this is what I have to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Yes.
yeah, we
Congrats
won-
on the award. That's
thank
really
you.
cool.
We won for the county, the state, and the national, and they flew us out to Chicago
someplace like that.
to accept the award. It's fun.
Was it like a dress up in like fancy clothes kind of thing?
Yes, it was.
It was a national award.
Yes, and we had to get in front of thousands of people and speak.
Oh,
That
wow.
that was. Were you all the only recipients for the night?
We were the small business.
We were the small business.
Got it. Okay, but they weren't giving out hundreds of awards. It was.
No, I think it was in total 25 awards.
Okay.
But we were the small business.
And you guys had to speak in front of thousands of people.
I did.
Suzanne, you didn't want to speak in front of all those people?
I'm too shy.
Sheila stood behind me.
All right, so if I have family that's never been to Ashland coming into town, and they have a few days to spend in the Ashland area, what would y'all recommend they do?
I mean, other than eat with us,
Well, that's one thing. So
Right,
that's
that's a given.
Absolutely a given.
definitely see the Hobbytown trains, the toy store with the antique trains. Go see the museum. I always
Patrick Henry's home,
Scotchtown,
Scotchtown.
Patrick Henry home. I always like for
Yep.
people to see the Henry Clay Inn just because you can see how pretty it is inside. However, they haven't been open.
The courthouse
The courthouse.
and the tavern.
Lots of history. Here.
Lots of history. I always recommend after they eat, take a walk around and look at the whole old houses.
Yeah, those houses
are
were built in
beautiful
the
houses.
1870s, 1880s, I think. Yeah.
And just sit and watch
So-
the trains go by.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that sit and just watch the trains.
Do y'all? So there are like 25 trains that come through, I think.
Probably,
almost
roughly.
every day. Do y'all notice the trains?
Not
No.
so much anymore.
Yeah. I remember when we had the earthquake,
Yeah.
everybody's like, did you feel it? We were like, no.
No, because felt like another
Felt
train
like a
coming
train.
through.
You know, you can tell the people who are from out of town from the Ashland people because when the train goes by, all the out of towners turn to look, and the Ashland people just carry on with their lunch. They don't even lift their heads.
Ashlanders just keep talking.
That's right. They've
Yeah.
seen the train so many times.
Well, very cool. Anything else we want to talk about before we close?
I think so.
All right, very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure
Well, thank you for having
to
us.
meet both of you and to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd also really appreciate if you'd rate and review us. You can find us at scodupodcast.com.